everybody. Welcome back to Majestic.
Off to a smashing start.
Doing great things. Welcome back to Majestic Mayhem. I'm Death Dealer,
And I'm Pink Pickles.
tongue twister, I guess. Uh, so, how has your week been?
It's been pretty good. It's been a quiet week, which is nice. We actually had snow, first snow of the season, which was not so nice. But luckily, it was not much. It was just like some slushy snow. I didn't even have to shovel or anything. Um, it was 50 the next day, but they're saying that we might get a huge snowstorm Friday, which we better not. I'm not ready for snow. I'm not ready for shoveling. My snowblower is buried. I'm not ready. So, all
how much
rain.
how much snow are they predicting to fall?
Okay, so
Are
there's
they
multiple models, right?
Mhm.
So when it's this far out, okay, I know that I hide this so well in my life, but I'm a huge nerd. And even though the weather does not interest me at all, for somebody who doesn't care about the weather, I do spend an odd amount of time reading about the weather. I think
Okay.
'cause I just want to know what's going to happen. So normally when you're a week out, there's different models that predict the weather. So they don't always match. So we'll have to wait till we're closer to see which model is really going to line up. And obviously, there's a lot of factors on where things blow across the country because it's the weather that was just in like Washington State. It's coming all across the country. But one model has it going completely south of us, and we get nothing. Then there's a model that says we're going to get, like 5 inches of snow. And then there's a model that says we're going to get a foot of snow. I still have leaves on the tree. I can't take all this snow. The leaves haven't even finished coming down yet. I just can't take it. I'm not ready.
That would be a bit odd for it to snow before the leaves have finished falling. No, I mean, I haven't had to be in snow in a long time, but anytime I ever was around it, yeah, the trees were bare. So
Well,
that, I can imagine that'd be strange.
I don't know what it is. The rest of our neighborhood, like the guy across the street from us, whatever tree he has, those are the earliest falling leaves I've seen in my life. It's like September and this dude's tree is bare.
Hmm.
He has the earliest tree in the whole neighborhood. Everyone else, their leaves have fallen somehow. Whatever we have, if I say the helicopters that come from the trees, do you know what I mean? Those
Mhm.
little, we have the trees with the helicopters, and I don't know why, but they just fall so late in the season, and I hate it. The leaves are still, I mean, some of them have fallen, but the ones in the trees are still half green. It just, yeah. Like I said, I'm not ready to shovel.
It sounds like the way they predict snow is the way they predict hurricanes. Like, here's about 8 different ways this can go.
Yes.
Good luck and Godspeed. We know it's coming. We're just not sure
Hmm.
where. Like, where, how much, how long. No, we're not sure about any of these things, but we know it's going to happen. So,
Yeah, and then we're right by too, but there's always like that point where it's like, okay, people who live north of here, this happens, and people who live south of here, we live by right by one of those lines where it just seems that weather patterns shift right where we are. So it's like we really never know because when we're only a mile away from the change point, what are we gonna be in? I don't know. So either way, I just keep telling myself we're gonna get rain and only rain because we need rain. We've been dealing for the past like month. We've been doing massive forest fires
that's not
because
good.
we haven't had any rain in like 3 months. Then we got last week we got rain and snow, so at least all the forest fires are they're done, which is good. But yeah, I'm okay with the cold. It takes me a while to get tired of it being cold, but it takes snow. I just everything's gross. So then you gotta it's just work to get rid
Yeah.
of it, and then like parking lots are a mess. Everything is just gross as you walk through it, and yeah, I'm like a 90-year-old complaining, shaking my fist at the sky.
Well, and to be honest, I always said one of the reasons I will leave here is because I do not want to deal with snow. What is, I don't do well in cold anymore from
Mhm.
injuries I've gotten. But even negate that. Say they have a magical new way to cure all of life's problems and the body's ailments. Okay, I'm still not moving where snow is because I'm not shoveling it. I don't want to drive in it. I don't want to deal with it. In fact, Dreadpool and I were talking about this earlier today. He had sent me a video of a woman getting in a truck. They said it was a woman borrowing her husband's truck. You can't see the person. They're already in the truck by the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, they get in the truck and the truck just slides. They take it out of park and the truck just starts sliding on the ice and just slides right down the road. And I'm like, yeah, that would never be me. Not because like I'm not sure of my skill or, I can be like, oh, I would never make that mistake. No, I'm not driving in it. I'm not attempting it. I don't want to. I don't care to. Listen, you give me hurricane winds and rain, no problem. I got that. If I really got to go somewhere, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Snow? No, thank you. No.
See, no. I stay home when I can, but I get annoyed because there's a lot of people that need to stay home when it snows and they don't. And I don't want to be out on the road while you're driving 20 miles an hour. Like when I went to work the other day, and it was like slushy snow. It wasn't snow. There was
that's the worst.
Yeah, it was. It was a pain. But we're in a 55 zone and we're going like 40. 40 was a good speed. We all have good distance between us. The line of us, we're just going along. Some guy pulls out from a side road, and of course he pulls out and cuts the guy off. So everyone has to, slow down. But then this dude is driving 20. You should have just stayed home. You should have stayed home. You should have waited 2 hours till they plowed more, and then you could have left your house and let the rest of us do what we have to do.
We have those people here.
Yeah.
They do it in the rain. They go out when they don't need to in the rain, and then they get in the left lane, which is the fast lane, or it's supposed to be the fast lane, or they'll get in the passing lane.
Yeah.
And they'll just slow down to like a non-speed because, and the funny thing is, you're only supposed to slow down 5 miles under the speed limit. So anything else than that is completely dangerous, not only for yourself, but for those around you. I mean, I'm always worried. I always get concerned when people don't do the speed limit and they're going under because I can't trust that someone's not gonna, hit me from the back. It has happened. Someone rear-ended me. So, I mean, call me crazy. I don't trust people's driving.
See, I don't mind living in the cold. And how you said, like, you would never live somewhere where there's snow. I don't mind living where there's snow. My dream is to have enough money that I didn't have to worry about the snow because I would live here, but I'd have somebody to take care of it for me. I'd have a guy who would come and shovel and snowblow, drive me around, do whatever has to be done. So I could just be here and it'd be nice. It'll look pretty, but I don't have to deal with the mess. That's my dream.
If I have money like that, I'll move back to somewhere where it snows. I don't, like I said, the only problem is I just don't want to deal with it on a day-to-day basis for the few months that you do. I get that most people don't mind or whatever. I'd rather not. I don't have to, so I'm not going to. Someone has to live.
We're not bad. We don't get tons of snow here. Because when you get like at the top of the state, that's where they get like feet of snow and it's not a big deal. Like you could get a foot of snow and it's just like, it'd be like everyone else getting a dusting. Like I could not have feet of snow in my yard all year round. Not all year round, obviously, but for months on end. And RWK said you have a guy to shovel snow. It's Perry. No, Perry has a lady to shovel snow, and it's me.
Well, it's not feasible to say, oh, I wouldn't really have to deal with it because you have to go out. You got to go to the store at some point in time. You've got to go to an appointment. You've got to go to work. There's something you're going to have to do. So unless you've got a driver, you're dealing with it.
Yeah. But
That's too funny.
it's not bad. So, but it's winter, so it's to be expected. And I would rather take 5 months of winter because it'll take me a while before I'm like really over it. It takes one day of being 80 and I'm done with summer. So I'll take winter.
See, the heat doesn't bother me that much anymore. I've gotten so used to it. It
Yeah.
doesn't. I mean, it's obnoxious at times. And don't get me wrong. There are days in Florida, especially in the summer, it is so humid and so hot. It's hard to breathe outside.
Yeah.
But God made air conditioning. I enjoy that an awful lot. And
Yeah.
I have a push start car and I got the remote so I can start it from inside the house and let it run, cool down, or heat up. It's not the biggest problem.
I know when I go to work in the morning, I know exactly at what point before I feel the heat from my seats or before like the heat starts coming out of the vents, right? Because I turn it on and then I start the car and I go. And I know exactly where I am. I'm like, okay, I only have to make it down the road this far, then I'm going to be okay. But like I said, I can't complain too much. So that was the only thing really going on this week. The rest of the week, I've been watching Dateline and First 48, and I'm just glad that criminals are stupid. I watched an episode of the First 48.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody was murdered. The guy robbed a little bodega and he killed some guy. So they didn't have any evidence at all, but they knew what the car was. So for months there was no arrests in the case at all. The cops were going to court on a completely different case and they saw the car parked.
Mm-hmm.
So they called in the other units. They waited for the guy to come out. They arrested the guy for driving without a license. So they questioned him on a robbery. He says no robbery. What are you talking about? They have no evidence. They let the guy go, but they kept his car. So while they're looking at the car, of course, they find all of the blood on the seats because the guy was done too because the guy shot himself as he was running back to the car, putting his gun away. He shot himself in the leg, so his seat's covered in blood. Right. So this guy has to know because he put seat covers over his seats, so he knows that he's got blood all over his seats. This moron calls the cops and says, "Hey, you still have my car. I want to come get it back." So they're like, "Sure, come on down. Please come. We'll give you your car. Just meet us down here." And sure enough, the guy shows up to get his car. And they arrest him for murder. The guy got convicted. But how dumb can you possibly be? Yeah.
I mean, it happens. Thank God. Like you said, thank God they're stupid. I mean, they don't really, most people don't think of all of the. To shoot yourself, though, on the way out, that's almost as bad as the guy who fell through the ceiling of the liquor store when he was trying to rob the place. I mean, really? Like,
Yeah.
I have no words for stupidity, but unfortunately, it's becoming more and more common. I fear that someday we're going to be living in the movie Idiocracy.
Yes.
I feel like we're slowly dipping into it right now. We're already wearing Crocs. We're just a
Excuse
little
me.
bit further away.
Don't mess with my Crocs.
I'm not messing with.
It's like walking on little clouds. They're hideous. But they're comfortable.
I'm not knocking them. I unfortunately own a pair myself. I get it. They're ugly as all get out.
Yep.
But that's what makes it so funny is that they're actually in the movie Idiocracy.
Oh, they are?
And the wardrobe stylist, when asked why they chose Crocs for everybody in the future, because everyone in the future wears them, they said we were looking for the most ridiculous, dumbest things to put on these people.
Yep.
And I figured, I never thought that these shoes would become popular, but they were just the ugliest, goofiest, dumbest thing I'd ever seen. I mean,
they're true. That is true. They are.
They are hideous as get out.
Oh, they
They're
are.
comfortable, but they're ugly as all hell.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's slowly. It's just funny to see all these years later. Like anytime anyone says, "Oh, it's becoming idiocracy," I'm like, "Well, yeah, we wear the shoes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the
It's already
runway?
started.
Fashion is pretty bad these days. I mean,
Yeah. So I was looking up, I love all my like funny news stories, and I found the story about this guy who I think he got arrested, but I don't know if this is what he got arrested for. So this guy, it's from New Zealand, so I didn't really understand because even though they speak English in New Zealand, some of the slang they use it might as well be different language. I'm like, I don't even know what
yeah,
this
it's
article is
English,
trying
but
to
it's
say.
not really English, is it? It's
Yeah,
the Queen's English. Well, it's not even the Queen's English. That's a completely
yeah,
There's
I
so many
don't.
different dialects. It's interesting out there.
So this is maybe a little gross, but this is hysterical though. This is really just funny to me beyond belief. Some dude who owns a used car dealership. They said he's been placed into receivership, which I have no clue what a receivership is. Um, he has a whole bunch of legal issues. He has debts. So there was an issue that he owed somebody $15,000, and it had to do with he sold somebody a car. They gave him $15,000, but then there was a problem with the car, so they never even took ownership of it. So he was supposed to return their money. He never did. So they'll go back and forth with them trying to get this money. So hold on, I gotta find the article what he says. I just had it. I have it pulled up. Okay, hold on. Right, so they're trying to talk to him. He keeps saying, "Oh, I'm out of the country. I have IT issues. I can't connect remotely," which is all just like BS, right?
Yeah.
So he did threaten that he was going to liquidate his company in order to not give them any money.
Mm-hmm.
So then it says, he sends these people an email that says, "Please see attached in full." So they opened it expecting to be an invoice. Instead, it was 2 photos attached. They were poop photos. One photo was poop in a toilet, and one was poop on a car seat. Like, this is what he sent. Like, instead of like, here's an invoice, this is what he sends.
Okay.
So it turns out though that he has a history of this. He has a complete history. Anytime he gets mad at people, this is what he does. So there's another guy, and this has to do with carbon monoxide credits. I don't know what that is, but he was supposed to give somebody back their credits.
Mm-hmm.
So he keeps saying, I want these 180 credits. So he's emailing them, and he tries to, he wants alternatives. He said to the guy, "Well, I'll give you a dog. I'll give you we'll toss a coin, double or nothing." And the guy's like, "No, give me the credits or give me the money back." So then at 11 p.m., he emails the guy a photo of a naked male, and then an image of poop in a pizza box. And the guy's quote is that he received some bloody weird images. Like, that's all the guy had to say about it. But it just cracks me up that this guy, and there were like tons of different people who've come forward to say, "Oh yeah, this guy's been emailing me. This is what he sends." Like, he has a whole history of this.
I mean, it takes petty to a new level, a different. I mean, I'm guessing he was the kid that would poop in a bag and leave it on somebody's doorstep after lighting it on fire.
Probably.
That's one way, I guess. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna agree with the chat. Yeah, because it's when you send
bloody
someone,
weird.
Yeah, that'll stop an argument.
Can you imagine though that like you buy something from a company? Like, imagine you go to Walmart or no, Amazon, right? Because Amazon, you have to like chat with the people online. Imagine you have a problem with your Amazon order, and you chat them, and you're like, hey, this is an issue. And then they're like, okay. And they send you back an attachment, and that's what they send you. Like, can you imagine? It's
I mean, to be fair, though, this guy owns a car dealership, because this is all dealing with cars. So I'm assuming he's.
This is a used car dealership,
To
which
be
he doesn't
fair,
have anymore.
Oh, yeah, nope, makes sense. I can understand why.
Yeah.
We had a used car dealership in our area that was kind of the guy was a real. He was a real character, very interesting person, exceptional personality, definitely sparkling. Um, he didn't own the dealership for very long once Google reviews started becoming a thing that people started
Mhm.
looking at before they started
Yeah.
buying cars and things. Yeah. Doesn't surprise me about a used car dealership.
True.
See a show of hands of anyone surprised?
Dredd said, what if Amazon sent you back a full doggy bag?
I mean, didn't somebody do that? Didn't they send Amazon back a return with like poop in it or something? Or didn't someone send out an Amazon package with poop? There was something with
I
Amazon
read about how like if you have a small business, you send your product to Amazon because you sell it on Amazon, but then Amazon ships it out.
Mm-hmm.
And some small business was getting like demolished. Like their business was really suffering.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget what they sold. They sold like swimming trunks for kids or something like that.
Okay.
So somebody had a return, and Amazon never checked the return. They were used and had poop in it. So then somebody bought a pair on Amazon, got the box, and it was the used pair. But now they're trashing the original company. The original company had no part in like what got sent out and everything.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I wonder how often that happens though. That Amazon's at this point they don't even look at returns. And like in the chat they're saying about, eBay and sending back boxes of sand, and we've heard about it. I've heard about, like at Home Depot, people put like rocks in the chainsaw box. If Amazon doesn't even open their returns, I wonder how many people are getting boxes full of nonsense, even if it's not gross, if it's just wrong stuff.
Well, I know for a long time, Amazon wasn't even telling people to send back their returns. They were telling people to just keep their returns because it was cheaper for you to just keep whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming when they started doing this implement where we're selling for smaller business and things, is when they started stopping doing that on certain things.
Yeah.
I've heard of people sending back crazy things. I could swear I've heard something about them either sending out poop or getting poop back in. But it was like actual turd, like not used draws.
Just in a box.
Maybe it was eBay.
People return PS3s and Bibles in the boxes to Best Buy. It is. It's crazy. We returned. What did we return at Target once? I think it was an iPad. We bought an iPad, but we didn't open it. Nothing. We decided we didn't want it. So we went like quickly to go return it. It was like a day or two. The lady had to cut it open. And I was like, oh, that sucks. This is an unopened item. Now it's an open used item. But I was thinking like, man, why are you opening it? Because it had the plastic seal on it and everything. And the Perry's like, well, people have the equipment at home to just reseal things. So even though it had the plastic wrapping on it, if you have the machine, you could put plastic wrapping on anything.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That is
Yeah.
true. I mean, I do plastic wrap some decorations for certain things every once in a while. So yeah, I mean, I'm not thinking, I don't think like that. I'm not that person. So
Well, yeah, that's the thing. If you're not the one who's doing it, you don't always occur to you that other people do it.
yeah.
But
No, yeah. I've been insulted going to return something and they like tear it all apart, make sure all the pieces, and I'm like, what the heck do you think this is? You think I'm going to give you back? You think I'm keeping a broken whatever? Like, there's a reason I'm returning it. It's because I don't want it or it doesn't work the way I want it to. You think I'm keeping this? Really?
Well, it surprises me too that now a lot of places, which makes sense, that they like track your returns. So, like if you go to Target, you have to show your license or something because they're
Yeah.
tracking. So this way, if you're returning stuff all the time,
Mhm.
I'm sure they flag you and look into you. But like if you return something once a year, yeah, don't give it a fifth degree. Like I'm not abusing any policy. Sometimes you get a broken item. Sometimes you just change your mind.
Mhm.
If you're gonna have a return policy, don't treat me like a criminal for using your return policy.
Oh, I agree.
But
Absolutely agree.
oh, Perry said at CompUSA, two guys stole 100 Xbox games in the warehouse and resealed them. So they were selling empty sealed cases to customers.
Oh
I do
no.
imagine you're the first customer to have a problem because they probably wouldn't believe you, right? Because you're the first one, and they're like, "Yeah, right, it's sealed. You didn't have a problem." And then as the complaints keep rolling in, it's like, "Oh crap, maybe there is a problem."
Mhm. Yeah, no, I had something like that actually with a makeup company. I ordered an eyeshadow palette one time, and it was a limited edition eyeshadow palette. And when I got it in, I was so excited, but unfortunately, it had broken shipping.
Oh,
So I messaged the company to let them know, like, hey, it's still usable. I'm not worried about it. Not a big deal because, like, again, they're limited edition. I knew they sold out.
hmm
Don't really care. Just letting you know so you can pad them better for the next person. My stuff's broken. They're like, oh well, if you wanted to return, not unless you have this eyeshadow palette.
yeah,
I don't want my money. I want the makeup. I want the makeup. And then after I was like, okay, finally, they were like, yeah, we can do an exchange. I'm like, okay, cool, I'll do that then. Then they started giving me the fifth degree of like, well, it looks like you dropped it, and I'm like, really? Now you question me after you talked me into returning it. Now you're gonna question me.
yeah. If you didn't even want a return or exchange, you didn't even want it. They like badgered you to accept it.
Yeah, I just wanted to let them know. Put some more paper or something in the
Yeah,
boxes. Like, do something so you're not selling it because someone's eventually going to get one that's completely shattered. Mine was just
yeah,
a little broken. Not a big deal. Mine wasn't like shattered. I'd be mad if I paid that much money for something and it came in broken already. I don't care if it's
hmm
$5. I'm going to be mad about it.
yeah. Let's not get either. But I guess it's just how much it costs for shipping. That nowadays with everything that gets shipped, how little packaging goes in your boxes and the stuff is just flopping around in there. But I guess the amount of things that get broken or that people actually complain about getting broken, that must be cheaper to replace those items than if they actually put good packaging on everything.
I think it's
Right?
a write off. I think unused product, like the
Yeah.
product that doesn't, you can't use, unusable products are just tax write offs.
Yeah.
Well, that's probably plays a lot into it. Now they just don't care. Not to mention they upmarket that stuff so much.
Yeah.
I was watching caught the end of a show on TLC the other day. I don't know what it was. It was two old guys walking around some kind of store in some foreign country, and they were talking about watches. And the guy was talking about this. I don't. It's really expensive watch. It's not a Rolex. Don't know my watches, so I couldn't tell
hmm
you what it was. But he's like, yeah, over in the US it costs, like $50,000. He's like, yeah, how much did you say it was here? And he's like, $20
For an authentic one?
for an authentic one. And the guy's like, this
Wow.
just tells because I guess they were in wherever the watch
Was
was
made.
made, and they were surprised because it was a street vendor. But because it's where it was made, I guess it was easier for I don't know. Don't care. But it just they're like, yeah, that's like a over a 200% markup. I'm like, oh my God, they do this all
Yeah.
the time with things.
hmm
All the time.
But people keep buying it. So,
It's true. It's true. Although
not
I don't understand the point of some of the price tags and some of these things. It doesn't make any sense to me personally. That's just me.
I mean, some stuff it is you are paying for quality, and it's more money because of the quality involved. But a lot of it is it's just a name, so you can say right. No one's bragging to go look. I have Crocs, right? But you're gonna brag that you have Louis Vuitton sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
Does Louis Vuitton even make sneakers? I'm just assuming
Oh
they
yeah,
do. I know
no, they
that they
do.
make bags, but
They
Why
do.
would they not make
Oh,
sneakers? So
Louis Vuitton's one that I don't think the money is worth it much anymore. It used to be years ago buying a Louis Vuitton, it was worth it because they were extremely well made bags and they were made with great materials. And I no. I don't care if I could afford it. I'm still not buying a Louis
yeah.
today. They're junk now. They're absolute garbage now. I mean, a lot of companies have done that. They're keeping the luxury pricing and making crap. I mean,
I'll hire the guy to shovel my snow before I'm going to buy a Louis Vuitton bag. That's where I'll spend my money.
yes, yeah. I think I agree with you on that one. I'd probably feel the same way. Yeah.
Yeah. But so this other this week, what else I was doing is yesterday we were at Perry's store, and the only thing to really get delivered is pizza, and I was like, I don't want pizza. I'm just gonna wait till I get home. But I was so hungry, so I get stuff delivered from Target. So I go, okay, let me get just something from Target to tie myself over. So I got something to eat from Target, and I just got like some other things to get it delivered. So all of a sudden, I get a text message that says that your order was delivered. And I'm like, the guy didn't deliver it. What the heck are you talking about? Before I could even click the link to see what I'm trying to pull up the text here. Before I could even click the link to see what this photo was to find out where the guy left it, this dude texts me and says, "I'll be there in 13 minutes. I got pulled over." And then he sends a little emoji, the face palm. And then a minute later, he's like, "Don't worry, your stuff is safe." and then I clicked the photo. The photo was he took a photo like from the front seat of his car. So then I was like, "Oh, now I'm curious what's going to happen. Am I really going to get this?" Like it was, like I said, it wasn't even much stuff. It was stupid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He really did show up though, but I was so like, I'm so excited. I was like, this just made my whole week that this dude sending me the text message. Oh, I'm going to be late. I got pulled over.
That's too funny. That is hilarious.
So then the guy shows up and I said something about it, and I don't know, he was just weird about it. He was so just like, yeah, it happens. Like he was just so nonchalant, and I was like, well, hopefully it wasn't too bad. So I have no clue. I mean, obviously the dude didn't get arrested, so he probably just was speeding right a stop sign. Who knows? But
I bet he was probably speeding just a little bit, and he's probably used to it by now. If he was like, yeah, it happens. It's like, yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
How many tickets have you had recently?
But then I felt bad, like, man, here is this guy out here just trying to make some money, and now how much money is he spending on this ticket that he got? But
I mean, not for
it's life,
nothing, you
though.
can still get tickets driving buses. So it doesn't happen often, but it can happen.
Like the bus driver gets ticketed.
Yeah.
I would imagine that for the cops to pull a bus over, are you doing like a public bus or a school bus?
School bus.
I would think that you would be doing something dangerous to pull over a school bus, right?
No, they pulled them over.
For like what kind of stuff? Like if the school bus is going 35 and a 30, are they going to get pulled over?
I don't know about that. That I can't tell you. Probably not. I'm going to guess that they're going to get a pass because they've got a bunch of screaming kids in the background, and like who wants to deal with that longer than they have to? There was a story a few years ago about a bus driver drunk driving, and they were swerving.
To get
they got
pulled over.
Yeah, they were swerving and got pulled over, and all the kids were escorted off the bus. Why the school sent another? It felt bad, but it was like one of those. Yeah, that's
okay. So, as long as nobody gets hurt, how fun as a kid to have that story that you now like get to go back to school, and then you get to tell everyone else at school, like, "Oh my god, the bus was going all over the place. We were swerving." Right? I bet you that'd be fun. As long as no one gets hurt, I think that'd be fun to go back and have a good story.
You'd be the most popular kid in class, I'm sure. Most likely.
Yeah, everyone would
fascinating person in the class for at least the next couple of days, I'm sure. Until something else happened, you'd be the most fascinating person for like the next 4 days or so, And then I'm sure all the parents would hear about it, and they would, Yeah, kids say strange things sometimes, and they repeat it, and then they repeat it, and then they repeat it, and it's like a game of telephone. It's always interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
luckily mine's older now, so she doesn't really do that. But we've had moments where she's misunderstood a situation and then misunderstood how to describe it. Um, Great times. Glad that's a thing of the past at this point. I had to explain to her kindergarten teachers, or no, I'm sorry, it was her pre-K teachers that I was not in fact dead, that Dreadpool did not in fact stab me to death. Um,
What did she?
yeah, we
What
did
was
go
she
out in the
trying to
woods.
tell them?
We were doing our haunted house, and he and I, it was because she was still so young, she didn't come
Mhm.
out and help us with the haunting part yet.
Yeah.
And she'd saw us get dressed and leave while she stayed home with my mom. And she went back to school the following day and was like, "Oh, Daddy killed Mommy and then took her out to the woods for the night. They were covered in blood. It was so cool. They were covered from head to toe. Mommy had this."
It was so cool.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
so what happened was, so I started explaining to her teachers after that at the beginning of the year, hey, listen.
Yeah.
So around October, you might hear some weird things. September, October, you're gonna hear some weird things, body parts, bodies being dragged, playing
Yeah.
in the woods, covered in blood, buckets of blood, gallons of blood, skin.
Perfectly normal.
Fine. It's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah.
Oh.
Good times. Good time. Good stories. Hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, they were funny times, especially walking away thinking to myself, I'm always asking Dreadpool, I'm like, how insane do we look to these teachers as we're walking away after we've just explained to them? Like, she says I have skin hanging in the kitchen from the lamp. Like, just so you know, it is drying out, but it's not the
It's not
skin
real
you're
skin.
thinking of.
Yeah. Not a serial killer, I promise.
I mean, not yet.
I
I
wouldn't
won't
admit
say
it if it
never.
were.
It's not yet. I'd be a little more inconspicuous than that,
Yeah.
just say.
Oh.
Good times.
Well, so now that Halloween is over, so Thanksgiving is coming up. Do you have any plans for Thanksgiving?
I do. I do. I plan to eat and try to deal with all the family. Good times. It'll be it's so much fun. All the family, all the siblings will be in town. Good times. So much fun. Actually, I'm setting up for Christmas for Santa's elf. So good times. I took all my Halloween stuff down, which took a little longer than I expected because I got sidetracked and busy, and things happen. So it took a little longer than I expected.
Mhm.
Now I'm trying to decide. I have a animatronic skeleton Santa Claus,
Okay.
and I don't know how okay they're gonna feel with me putting this up in Santa's workshop. I mean, I personally think it's amazing. I think it's great, wonderful, and I think the kids will love it. Its eyes light up red, and it even says "ho ho ho." I think at one point it says something like something about being on the naughty or nice list. So, I mean, he says
Perfect.
parts. I just don't know how thrilled the parents would be if I did. So he's either going up out there or he's going on my front porch. Either way,
Do
he's going up.
Is there like a Christmas trail, or is it just like a little thing where you come and look at Santa and that's it?
Yeah, we do a Christmas train, and you can ride around on the Christmas train and see
Yeah.
some lights and stuff. And I'll probably go a few times and hand out candy canes and tell the kids, make sure you send your list. I like terrorizing children in the winter too.
I know I'm gonna have to put my Christmas decorations out soon. it's going to be a lot of work. I am going to have to take down my Christmas or my Halloween mouse.
No.
I'll have to go in the garage so I can put the Christmas mouse on the porch. That'll be the extent of my decoration. I got this Christmas mouse last year. He's so adorable. He's like, I don't know, 3, 4. He can't be 4 feet. He's like 3 feet tall. And he's this like plastic mouse, and he's wearing little blue overalls and the Santa hat, and he's Christmassy and he's adorable, and I love him. So early, like in September, we got him at Home Depot. So we're at Home Depot this September, and I was like, oh my god, there was a mouse, but he's wrapped up like a mummy holding a candy corn, and I'm like, it's the same mouse, but he's a Halloween mouse, so I had to buy him.
Is this like the goose thing? Like people buy gooses and put like themed gooses on their porches for the seasons and stuff? Is it kind of like that, but a mouse?
No, he's just a mouse decoration. I don't know, but okay. So those gooses that people have, no, they don't buy themed gooses. You buy a concrete goose, and you put the goose on your porch. You then buy clothes, and you change the outfit on your goose all year round. So you're not buying. There's not multiple geese. Well, you may have, because you may have 2 of them, right? Because you may have 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but it's like a whole big industry to go buy goose clothes, and they don't do it around here at all, but they do it in Ohio. So I'm very intrigued by this, and they'll even have it right in towns where, like, you know, football is a big thing. People will like custom make like jerseys for your goose. So like, let's say your kid's on the football team, like you could have a goose that wears the jersey with your kid's name on the back and the kid's number. Oh yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's okay.
My aunt, she's my godmother. She threw me a bridal shower in Ohio. She borrowed gooses from 2 different neighbors. So she had a bride and a groom goose on her porch because she did it because she knows that I'm like intrigued and find it ridiculous. Like, this is just bizarre to me. So she was like, I made sure to find people who had them, and somebody had a wedding dress and a little groom, but it's like the goose had like the little top hat, little tuxedo.
Oh my gosh. Okay. You know, I don't know. I personally think 12-foot skeletons that people dress up are funnier. The goose it's entertaining. I didn't realize that it was just clothing they were putting on a concrete goose.
Yes.
That's funny.
And people will do it, like, if you wake up and it's raining, they'll go put a rain hat and a little raincoat on the goose. So then, like, at the end of the day, it's not raining anymore. They'll take it off and they'll swap the clothes. Like, it's not like you don't just go put an outfit on to be like, okay, it's fall, let me get the fall goose outfit. No. There's people who every day they're changing the outfit on their goose.
That's a lot of effort for a lawn decoration. I mean, people down here in Florida, for a while, they were putting pink flamingos in their yard. Like, everyone was obsessed with pink flamingos. Yep. Every yard had pink flamingos.
I love
pink flamingos. Were doing different flamingos for different, I mean, they were always usually pink, but they were decorating them for different holidays and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's funny. That stuff entertains me. I just always feel like it's too much work.
It is, but like we went. I don't even know why we were driving through Pennsylvania, and we stopped at some like dead mall in the middle of nowhere. And you know, they have the kiosks in the middle of the mall. Mm. There was a kiosk that sold goose clothing. Like this, I'm telling you, this is a whole business to have clothes for a concrete goose that sits next to your front door. I don't get it. I think I'm with you. It's a lot of work. That's why I have. I can
understand dressing it for the holiday. I mean, that I can get behind. If it's just like the season or a holiday or something, that I could do, because that's just, you know, every couple of weeks you're changing it or whatever. But to change it
every day, multiple times a day?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No. No. Not even putting flamingos out like that. Like, I never got into the flamingos because you got to move them when you're mowing the lawn. That's too much.
Perry got me zombie flamingos one year. So they were black and they were little zombies. They were cute.
That sounds cute. I wouldn't
Yeah.
want that. Those are cute. I've seen skeleton ones. They've had those before, and they've sold those out by us before. And I thought about putting
See,
those in the yard because I like those. Those are
yeah.
cute. Um,
See, in Florida, they don't have a goose by your door, but there's people who have the manatee mailboxes, and people, for what I've read, that people dress up their manatees.
yeah, that's true. They do. There are a few places that do that. Um, those people are usually bored, have a
They're
lot of
what?
time on their
So they're
hands.
bored.
They're bored. Yeah, and retired. They're usually very
They're
much
not bored.
retired.
They're not bored. They spend their days with fulfilling activities like dressing up a manatee mailbox.
That is true. That is true. Although you don't see those much anymore. People have gotten rid of a lot of those. It's kind of
Yeah.
sad. People used to have really big concrete. I don't know why I don't know why manatees were so popular for the mailboxes. It was
I don't know. They're
that
cute.
once you think about it. That or sea turtles. People had a lot of sea
Hmm.
turtles. Yeah. Yeah.
Dread said there's themed pineapples. I don't know anything about themed pineapples.
I don't know anything about that either.
There's upside down pineapples.
That's a
I don't know
swinger.
about that, but I've heard about that.
It's a swinger thing. That's about all I
Yes.
know. I don't like pineapple. I'm allergic to pineapple. Screw pineapple. Next, stop it. Fuck pineapple. They should dress up real manatee. Problem is, touching a manatee, fun fact, touching a manatee is a federal crime. It's a federal offense because they're endangered.
So
You
when you
can't
go to the
actually touch
zoo, I saw Waffles, the baby manatee at a zoo. They need to just put like on the glass for the tank. They need to put like little Santa hats and stuff. So hopefully you got to wait for the proper moment for for Waffles to swim by when the hat lines up. Wouldn't that be adorable?
Oh, I'm sure
Then you could
waffles.
put the camera on it, right? Then you could pay people to pay money for the 24/7 Waffles cam.
I'm sure Waffles is going to eventually smash your little face into the glass too. They usually do. It's so funny. It doesn't hurt them. They don't care.
Yeah.
Manatees are hilarious. Yeah, you can't. You're not supposed, which makes it intriguing because manatees are extremely curious creatures because they don't really have any natural predators. They don't really have fear, so they just come investigate things when they
Hmm.
see something that interests them. So they will swim right over to you and get like right up on you, and they will sniff you all over or whatever it is they're doing. I'm not sure, to be honest. They're underwater. I don't know. They're funny though. They're so cute, but you can't pet them. You're not supposed to pet them, but they can rub against you and chase you down the river.
Frank says, imagine you go to prison and your cellmate asks you what you're in for, and you have to tell him because you pet a manatee. That guy's
I
in that
actually would. I'd
your
probably
house with a murderer for booping a snout.
I'd be the most dangerous one in there. They'd be like, "You touched a federally protected animal? You're crazy,
They'd all
crazy."
hate you. They'd be okay with the murderer, but they'd be like, "Oh my god, you booped a manatee. You could have hurt him. You're a horrible person. You eat at our lunch table."
Yeah, right. Yeah, you'd probably be the most dangerous person in the jail.
You're out in the cell yard by yourself because no one wants to talk to you. You're standing there all lonely.
Yeah, like don't talk to her. What she did? She touched a manatee.
Yeah.
We don't talk to people that touch endangered animals. No, that's funny.
Yeah.
They're cute though. Like I said, it's hard
There
not
were
to want to touch them because
there were
they're
3 baby manatees, to be fair, but I only remember Waffles because it was such an adorable name. I forget what the other 2 were, but they were only there. They were only there for a little bit. They were like rehabbing them, so then that way they could go back to Florida and go back out in the wild. But I forget why they needed to be rehabbed. So
Oh, it could have been just about if they were babies, most likely the moms didn't keep them, or moms didn't make it, or they got separated from mom.
Frank booped the mom, and then the mom suffered consequences, and the poor little babies had to be rehabbed. See, look at the chain reaction you started, you monster.
See what you did? Look what you've done. How rude. It's actually funny because every once in a while they'll swim over to where the first underwater theater is, and they still perform over there all the time. So it's pretty funny because you'll see the manatee swimming behind the mermaids every once in a while, just slowly hanging out, just chilling.
Well, I was gonna say because
Crocodile out.
we need to back up for the story. What is an underwater theater?
Okay, an
You
underwater
can't just say
theater.
that and act like we all know this.
I mean, you could, I don't know. Okay, it's a theater. It's exactly what it sounds like. It's a theater that you walk down into the ground. It's dug out. I believe it's the world's first underwater theater. It's Weeki Wachee Springs. They still do mermaid shows. They've been doing them since like the 20s, I think. Maybe, I don't know. But it's a theater it's exactly what it sounds like. It's underwater. The audience walks down steps it's just a dugout underneath. And then in the front where your stage is, there's these big windows that go right to the river. So you're looking right at the river actually. So you're seeing, so they go underwater and dance.
So they're in the river, underwater, doing mermaid shows.
Yeah, it's
okay.
Yeah, it's the freshest spring water. So it's extremely clear. It's beautiful. It stays the same temperature all year round. It's constantly flowing. It's really cool. And the theater itself, like I said, it's been there a really long time. It's world renowned. So that's why I just kind of, I don't know, I thought most people might know what an underwater theater is.
Oh no, now I gotta look this up.
They tried duplicating it in other areas. Our mermaids have gone on tours to aquariums around the U.S. They've taken our mermaids because they drop them right into a tank and go ahead, swim.
Do your thing.
Yeah, so we had a bunch of mermaids that went around and did a tour.
That's cool. So. In Connecticut, there's a beluga whale in the zoo. I don't know, or it's not, but in the aquarium, they have a beluga whale.
Mm-hmm.
But you can watch these videos all the time and it seems like a similar setup that you kind of like go down the stairs, they're seating, and then it's the tank with the whale. But beluga whales always look like they're smiling. So they'll have like I watch like a mariachi band play. So here's the three dudes standing there playing, and the whale is behind them just smiling and like bouncing around, and it's adorable. So like they have different little events happen in front of it, just so you get this beluga whale in the background. And he's cute. He looks like he's smiling.
There's some real cool stuff that I've seen, because I mean, I've gone there numerous times over the years, and throughout my childhood, I used to go to a lot, especially when we would come to Florida and visit before I moved here, because it used to be a really big deal to go. It's not so much anymore, but it's still a hell of a cool experience in my opinion. I think if you're coming to Florida, everyone's always like, oh, Disney, Universal. Those are cool, but have you watched people dance underwater? I mean, that's pretty. And then not to mention too, you can go on the other side and go swimming in that same water. So it's really cool. But I've seen manatees come swim behind the actors and actresses.
That's
so
cool.
Cute. And then we've seen a gator come swimming by.
Not cool.
They're just curious. No, they're not hungry. If they get too close to people, they'll come in and remove it and relocate them to another area.
Yeah.
It's cute though. It's been really cool to watch that stuff, because I mean they have to remain calm and collected no matter what shows up behind them anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a shark could come up behind them and there's nothing they could do about it. Granted, sharks aren't in the rivers for the most part, but
what if one day the shark comes up, the water level is high, the shark gets disoriented and comes up, and then you have people watching the poor little mermaids, and
they're gonna be watching the show with the rest of us. If it gets too close, they'll pull them out of the water. I mean, they have backup plans if they get too close. I mean, because I was there one time when they had to actually relocate an alligator. It had swum up and gone underneath the swimming dock, and it was about 8.5 feet, 9 feet long.
Mm-hmm.
It was just too big to be that close to people. It was sleeping, so I kind of felt bad for the poor thing. But Yeah, they moved it, and it took them, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes or so to get it done.
Mhm.
The animal was fine. They just moved him down the river somewhere where there weren't any people.
Yeah.
Problem solved. They just shuffle things that way. But like I said, manatees, you can't do anything about manatees anyway, though, because they're endangered.
Yeah.
So they just kind of have to stay out of their way. When those happen to come rolling up, they
Yeah.
just have to stay away from them. But like I said, manatees are curious creatures, so it's always pretty funny because you always see them swim over and kind of look at them. Fun stuff. Interesting stuff.
They're just adorable. They're fat and they're round.
Mm-hmm.
They're cute.
They are. They are so cute. They're adorable. They're so cute, and they're so harmless. I think that's the best part is they're so like they look like you just they look like you should be cuddling them. They
Yes.
really do. They look like you should be able to go up and just give them. They look like giant bean bags, living bean
Yeah.
bag bears. And you just want to cuddle
Certain
them.
animals look like they're going to kill you. And yeah, manatees look like you should be cuddling. Like, I love watching when you watch videos with baby elephants and like they're there with their handler or whatever. And they're like, they're trying to lay on their lap and just snuggle up with them. And it's just adorable. It's like you're being crushed by an adorable baby elephant. And of course, you're going to let it happen because it's so cute.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, no. If I were like in Africa or the Amazon, I would absolutely get killed by like a hippo. That would absolutely be on my death certificate.
I would
Trampled
too.
and eaten by hippo
Yes.
because they're just so cute. I mean, I don't know, and I can't. The way they look, they're adorable. Okay,
They
they're
are.
so freaking cute, but the way they look, I can't tell what they're, how they actually like their skin feels, and I always want to go over and be like, okay, you can tell me how it's supposed. It doesn't register. It doesn't register. I want to be able to go over and like touch the little thing and like poke the little, see if it jiggles. I think they're adorable. Yeah, I would absolutely be death by hippo.
See, I don't think it would jiggle. They're fat, but they're not like sloppy fat. I think they're a firm fat. That's what
Probably.
I think.
Probably. But again, probably why I'd end up dead. I defend it on top of that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I've never touched a hippo. I'm with you though. We'll die together because we will go and we'll find out what the hippo feels like.
We're going in. I'm pretty sure life insurance doesn't exclude those as cause of death. So they'll still pay it out. It'll be fine.
So, I always dream about winning the lottery and like what I would do. Not like, oh, I'm gonna win like, $50,000. Like I'm gonna dream about winning like, $800 million.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to rethink my plans because I'm sure for the right price, I'm going behind the scenes at the zoo and they're going to let me touch the hippo. Like, obviously, I can't manhandle the hippo, but like the zookeepers touch the hippos.
Yeah.
I'm sure for enough money to their zoo that I could touch a hippo. Everything's got a price, man.
I bet. Yeah, everything does have a price.
Like, that's not like the $50 hippo experience, but
we have a
I
place
got
down here that does
$50,000. Maybe that is the hippo experience.
that would be so cool.
You
That's
can
not
come
a
with
bad
me.
idea. I'm in.
Yeah.
You pay a ridiculous amount of money to just touch a hippo. Just poke a hippo.
Yeah, just one, and not just one little poke. Like, I understand because I don't want to hurt the hippo. So, like, that's fine. I'm not, like I said, I don't want to manhandle it. Like, just give him one little poke. Are you jiggly? Not jiggly? Like, what's the texture of your skin?
I want to see, like, because it looks shiny for the most part. Are you
Because
greasy?
they're wet.
Well,
They're wet.
They look shiny in the sun too sometimes. So it's I'm saying, like, are they greasy too? I'm kind of curious. And then obviously, I imagine it's kind of like tough leather, but like, what kind of leather texture is it like? What other animals' hide is that texture closest to? That's
Yeah.
Curious. Very curious. I have questions.
Okay, so you can join me. So this is now getting added to my. And see, I'm one step away. Win the lottery. One easy step.
That's all we need. The lottery.
I need to go on a baby animal world tour. I just want to go visit all these baby animals that are adorable. And I'm going to see Mu Dang, without a doubt, the little pygmy hippo.
Mm.
I don't know.
That's cute.
Let me poke Mudang, but then I want to pay money because I want to be the one who's squirting the hose at her. I think that'd be fun, right? Because she loves going under the hose. Like I'll pay the money, and I'm the hose girl.
I let her nibble on my foot. It's okay. She can nibble
Yeah.
on my boot. I'll be fine with that. And then I want to cuddle one of the pandas. I want to go cuddle some of the pandas while we're there because they got people that they pay to cuddle baby pandas. I'm like, that has got to be the coolest job on the planet.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it pays well, but I bet it's
You don't have to pay me.
job.
I'll pay you.
Hell yeah. I just want to cuddle a baby panda for like, I don't know, an hour.
Yes.
Give me an hour. I don't even need it that long. Give me an hour. I'll be
I'm
good
gonna,
after an hour.
I'm going to hug a koala.
Those are cute little things too. I think they're so adorable, but I want a baby one that was born in a zoo. Because most of them have the clap.
I was gonna say not the koalas that have chlamydia and are maniacs. Yeah, I'm with you. Give me a baby in a zoo.
I'm gonna pass on monkeys altogether because we have monkeys running loose in Florida quite regularly. They tell us, oh, there's a monkey in this area. Keep an eye out. If you see it, stay away from it. It's like, no shit. Have you seen the damage those things can do?
I don't think it was Florida. Was it just in one of the Carolinas that like the research monkeys escaped? Like 40 monkeys got out.
Yeah, that was that wasn't Florida. Thank God. So
one of the quotes I saw said something about like they're watching us just like we're watching them, and I'm like, if you were trying to make people feel better, that did not do it. That made it even that much worse. That you see the monkeys are out there, like they made it seem like the monkeys were like in a circle, like obviously in the trees hiding, but like in a circle around the building just watching.
I mean, they do. As far as I'm concerned, I have a conspiracy that they just play bottom of the food chain.
Oh, it's all an act.
I feel it's an act. We had
we're the big dumb monkeys, and they know it, and they're playing us.
There was one monkey that was loose for like a couple of years, and it would randomly show up in places, cause some chaos, and then disappear. Cause some chaos, and then disappear. I mean, you can't tell me that wasn't methodical thinking. He was out for at least, I wouldn't say at least 2 years before they caught him. He was out for maybe it was 3. But yeah, it was at least 2 years that he was just running around the state with not a fuck to be had anywhere. Not a single one to be found. And he was just laughing at zookeepers plenty.
Yeah.
As you know, they would try to shoot with tranquilizers, and he's like, ha, nope.
Yep.
I mean, then we've got there's an island with a bunch of monkeys on it. They recommend you not get too close to that island.
Is that like the island of Dr. Moreau?
Pretty much, yeah. They'll steal your things off of your boat or whatever.
Yeah,
they're not nice. They know it.
Criminals.
They are little thieves. Monkeys. They're smarter than we give them credit for, as far as concerned. How smart exactly, I don't know, but I know they're vicious. Oh.
I think a lot of animals are smarter than we give them credit for because we think of things in terms of how humans would process it and what our motivations are. Mm-hmm. Whereas a lot of times an animal's motivation is just very basic, right? It's food, it's reproducing, it's surviving. So I think that they're very smart. It's just we're kind of misassigning and misclassifying what it is they're doing. I think that's why we don't give credit. I like how Jumple said the hippo experience literally costs an arm and a leg, and it's totally worth it. If hippo has to eat my arm, but I'm going to have so much money that I can get like the best prosthetic arm ever. Will I really miss it?
No.
And I got to meet the hippo and touch the hippo. Like, it's worth it. It's not like I lost an arm doing something dumb. Did something amazing.
You will forever have an excuse not to help someone. Hey, can you help me with this box? Nope. I only got one arm, buddy. I got one good arm. And
then how great people are going to be like, oh my God, what happened? Hippo. And then don't even expand on it. Just be like, it's a hippo. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about it, because people are gonna think that like with some vicious hippo attack,
They're
not
gonna
that
think you
like,
were doing cool stuff and somewhere else.
yeah, but really, I'm just some rich
You're
asshole
getting
who
the
was like,
Amazon.
let me pet a hippo, right?
I mean, that's the best way to do it, though. If you're gonna be a rich asshole, be the kind of rich asshole the world wants to see. I mean, it's harmless compared to some of these other psychopaths. We're not diving to the bottom of the ocean and
Okay,
with a game controller. Could have done that, and not even a well-made game controller.
all right, because I
Bad
love true
decision.
crime. So like I told you, I've been watching Dateline, all that stuff. So like when things like that happen, you don't know how many videos I've watched on that Ocean Gate thing. It I know more about that than any like average person should know. And when that was going down, when that little submersible thing was missing, I don't know, I don't even know what I had. I was so sick. I didn't have strep throat, which I don't know how, because I was like so miserable. Like my throat felt like glass. It was horrible. So I couldn't sleep. So I'm laying in bed, propped up on a bed wedge, and I remember it's like 5 a.m. I haven't even slept at all. And Perry comes to the room and he was like, "What are you doing?" And here I am laying there. That's when they were I guess they like kind of knew where it was, and all of a sudden all the boats that were in the ocean and looking for them, they all started to go in a certain direction. So apparently there's all these maritime maps you could look at that you could check and monitor traffic. So I'm like becoming, an amateur expert on maritime traffic as I'm watching everyone post about all the boats and where they're going. And yeah.
That's
I spend
amazing,
way too
though.
much time on
That's
that.
amazing. I found I always listened to bits and pieces of it when it first happened, and then right after they finally went, oh, it disintegrated and whatever they decided. Um, I just found it was awfully interesting that they used a terrible
Yeah,
control.
Logitech controller.
I was like,
Yeah.
really? Out of all the shit you could have used,
So
that's where you're going? And with you didn't even buy rechargeable batteries at that. Like, come on, that's
well,
just sad.
what I thought was weird is, wouldn't you at least have something that's wired? Because I would just think something wireless. What if it fails? Why would, even if you choose to use a video game controller, you would
You'd
want
have
a
some way to
wired model.
manually, yeah, you'd think you'd have some kind of like manual steering wheel or something somewhere.
But this is also okay. To loop us back to the very first topic about gross photos that dude was sending. So, okay, you're spending all day long down in this little submersible.
Yeah.
The very front of it, where the window is, was where everybody, that's where you want to look out when you get down there. The bathroom on this thing is, you would go up to the front by the viewing window and you would close a little tiny curtain, and there was a bucket that had just a garbage bag. So
Yeah.
you would go to the bathroom in the bucket, and then I'm presuming that you would like close the bag. What if your stomach didn't agree with you? What if you got nervous? What if you had to go number 2 and you're in this stupid little capsule let loose let loose in a garbage bag, and then you get down there and now that's the exact spot where everybody wants to look out the window? Like,
I mean, I guess at that point you're just gonna have to have no shame and deal with it. I mean, personally, if my stomach hurts, I'm just gonna be like, sorry about it. Sorry about your bad luck.
but people paid tons of money, and that's what I thought was, imagine you get stuck down with the dude with a queasy stomach. Yeah.
Bubble guts. That would be hilarious, ironic, and unfortunate all in one. But yet, a hell of a coincidence to be stuck in a tiny ass little. But what kills me is the fact that it's like, I've got all this money. I've got more money than common sense, and more money than I'm ever going to spend in like the next 3-4 generations. Okay. Let me go in a non Well, like
It's a non-sanctioned vessel.
let me go in the guy's submarine that built it down the street. That's kind of like, I mean,
See, and this is what annoys me about this whole thing is the guy who had the company. He just thought that he was smarter than everybody else. And people would talk to him about safety regulations, and he was like, well, sometimes you got to take chances in order to innovate. And it's like, don't you think that every other submarine and underwater vessel is designed the same way for a reason? Because that's the safe way to do it. And you really think that like no one else has thought of this? You were the only dude who was like, hey, this is a great idea, let me do it? Like, no, there were problems, and even though he had successful dives, you were in a ticking time bomb, and unfortunately it went off, and there were people in there that lost their lives, and it's so unfortunate because they didn't know. They were sold on a dream.
I mean, but yeah, again, I'm not really going for the guy who built it in his backyard. That's like calling the neighborhood meth head a friggin' chemist. That's not how that works. I mean, just because
if you
chemicals doesn't mean you know how to use chemicals.
Yeah, if you're going on vacation, are you going to buy, a Delta ticket, or you going down the street? Joe Bob built a plane in his garage.
I mean, I'm just saying you don't trust. I mean, I shouldn't say that because too many people do trust idiots online and videos they hear. So I can't say, I mean, you really shouldn't trust medical advice from the internet for the most part. But I mean, but is that killing off the weak? I mean, isn't that kind of like, I mean, I personally feel like at this point we should just take warning labels off of things and like watch shit fly. I think it'd be fun. Do I really need a warning label on my shampoo bottle that tells me not to drink the shampoo? Is that really necessary, folks?
Well, but see, it is necessary because someone did it. That's the problem. The problem is, like, these warning labels aren't there for fun. They're there because something happened.
I know, and the sad part is about the Gorilla Glue, the girl that put Gorilla Glue on her wig. That killed me because I was like, honey, I have like several different types of Gorilla Glue. Okay, I've had Gorilla Glue duct tape. I like Gorilla Glue; it holds well. On all of them, it says various ways. It doesn't specifically say like don't put in your hair, but it says if it gets on your skin or clothes to get it off immediately and da 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 da. So one would read that and think, let's not put that in our hair. Bad idea.
I mean, Gorilla Glue, the whole point is you want like a permanent bond. Permanent. Yeah, why would you buy like that's not temporary. It's not like, oh, I'm putting up double-sided tape that I could peel off.
Yeah, it's just some people they need help. They need Jesus. They need Jesus. That's the best way to say it, I guess. They just need Jesus.
I think it's just people they don't think. You're right. It just goes as deep as, oh, this holds things. It'll hold my hair, and the thought process stops. I really think that's the problem.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Right? Just kind of like our thought process stops at, oh my God, I want to touch a hippo. Thought process stopped. Let's go have fun.
Oh my
right?
goodness gracious. Yeah. Oh, are you going to watch any Thanksgiving movies? There's a few different movies.
I was going to say, what even? Oh, one of my all-time favorite movies is a Thanksgiving movie. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. That movie cracks me up. The scene where he's nope, that was I'm totally because he was a different John Candy movie I was gonna say the giant pancake, but the giant pancakes in Uncle Buck, which that's my favorite part of the movie is the pancake's so big he's flipping up the snow shovel. But Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, With Dell, he's the shower curtain ring salesman, and he's
Mm.
trying to make it. They're trying to make it home for Thanksgiving. That's a great movie.
I haven't watched that one in a long time.
You know, I was watching because they like all like the master footage has been lost at this point, and there
Mm.
was a whole bunch that got cut out of the movie, and I'm like, now this makes more sense that I know the backstory. I always thought it was weird when Steve Martin comes home and like the way that his wife looks at him, and I'm
Mm.
always like, man, why is his wife such a weirdo? Like, I don't know why she acts like that. She thought he kept saying like, "Oh, I'm with Dell. I'm stuck with Dell. Dell and I are doing this." She thought he was having an affair. So the whole time, here she is upset, thinking that her husband's not coming home for Thanksgiving because he's out with another lady. So then when he comes home and it's John Candy who's with him, she's
Mm.
like relieved that, oh, wait, no, you were telling me the truth. And I'm like, okay, that makes more sense on why she acted the way she did. But
Well, it's funny. No, there's all kinds of Thanksgiving Day movies in particular. There are several Thanksgiving haunted or horror movies. Haunted movies, yes, haunted movies. um, and Cougar Man, I'm just saying that's pretty much all I watch for the holidays are horror movies. I mean, I have now ingrained them into the rotation. I have found several that I think are entertaining as all hell. There's a few actually. I want to see. I think it's Thanksgiving. I don't know. There's a new one that just came out not too long ago. I haven't seen it yet, so I was waiting to watch it around Thanksgiving. So I'll probably watch that one this week sometime when I have time.
Perry said that Dutch is the best Thanksgiving movie. I'm trying to look it up because he's probably watched this with me, but I don't remember.
Hmm.
Oh, it's another John Hughes movie. John Hughes, he made such great movies.
Well, that explains it. Can't argue with John Hughes movies.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. See, normally so on Thanksgiving, we stay home, just the two of us. So we'll stop by the families in the morning to just say hello,
Mhm.
but we spend the day just the two of us at home. So like one year we watched Animaniacs came back out. So of course
Yes.
we watched the whole season of Animaniacs. They came out with, a new Saved by the Bell series. So like all these shows from our childhood that are coming back, like we watch stuff like that. So I'm trying to think. I don't think we normally watch movies. Who knows though? Maybe this year will be the year.
Yes, I've seen Black Christmas, the 2006 one. It's all right, not the worst. It's better than the. I don't even know what the hell you want to call the latest Black Christmas that came out from like what was it 2020? I think it came out a few years ago. That was just bad. They got way too. I get that a lot of movies have political undertones and things, and I could care less about the political undertones for the most part. However, I feel like the last Black Christmas movie just like kept just like right in your face. Like, did you forget? We have a message. Here's your message. Oh, did you forget? Here's the message. Oh, someone's dying. Here's our message.
Too much.
I get it. Thank you. It's nice. I have to see. I want to watch somebody get slaughtered with that going, hey. So yeah, the 2006 Black Christmas much better than the last one. I still prefer the original though. I like the old one. I found that one much more entertaining personally. Although the voice on the phone that always cracks me up. Hey. But
I think it was last year for Christmas we watched. There was, a Lifetime Hallmark movie, but it had, I just totally blanked on his name. Who's the Necronomicon movie? Who's the guy? Ash. Who's Ash?
oh my gosh!
I just lost his name. help us out, chat. Who plays Ash from the Evil Dead? I can't think of his name. He was in like a Hallmark movie.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a Cajun Christmas or something. I don't know. So I had to watch it just because it was him. And I was like, this is going to be a cheesy movie, but we have to see it. So we watched that. Then we watched this movie called A Christmas Karen. Again, it's a stupid
Okay.
Hallmark movie. Bruce Campbell. Thank you. Bruce Campbell. So we watched his Christmas movie. Then we watched A Christmas Karen, which is hilarious because it's about a Karen at Christmas time. And it was funny. Cheesy.
There's a horror movie about Black Friday, and it's called, I believe it's actually called Black Friday. It's got Bruce Campbell in it.
We'll have to watch that.
It's like I don't know. I guess it is kind of a horror comedy. I guess it is. Yeah, it is a horror comedy. It's funny though. It's a good movie. It's entertaining. It's entertaining. And that is a shame that he thinks that the 2006 is the original, because I'm just going to say the 1974 version's better. I believe it's 1974.
Is 2006 a remake or is it a... Okay.
1974 is the original. Yeah. 2006 is the remake, and 2019 is the reboot, because it actually has nothing in common with the original storyline. I mean, don't get me wrong. Girls in a sorority start dying, but they're not getting the phone calls.
Yeah.
So, ludicrous phone calls of just random noise. It always cracks me up to watch 1974 version, because they're like, it's lewd and lascivious phone calls, and they're so gross, and all it is like the guy's like, hello. Hey, I see you. Like, how is it?
Yeah.
You guys' versions of prank phone calls is much more tame than with generations. I guess that's probably a good thing, because if they had been more wild, who knows what we would have been listening to and saying to each other.
Yeah.
Thank you for being less dramatic with things.
Yes. Milfman said he knew that 2006 wasn't the original. So he asked if we've ever been shopping on Black Friday. Okay. As a kid, we never went shopping on Black Friday.
Mm-hmm.
When I met Perry, we did. And that was only a few years before things really started to have like online only stuff. I miss going out Black Friday shopping. Like, it was tons of fun to look through the ads and plan out what you're going to do. And like, okay, am I going to go to the store? And like, is this store, is it worth waiting at? Is it not worth waiting at? But then as we were in the middle of that transition from retail shopping at store to online shopping, things in the stores just got crappy. And now there is no Black Friday, because it's like 2 months long. And things aren't even on sale, right? The sale prices, they're saying, oh, a big Black Friday sale. And it's like, this is the same price as it was a month ago. Like, this isn't on sale. This is just normal. It just, I don't know. They used to get good deals and it was fun going out, and it doesn't happen anymore. I think it's kind of a waste at this point.
I know, I agree, actually. It's funny you say that, because last year, my mom said the same thing when we were getting ready to walk into a store. She was like, she called me up and she was like, oh, let's just go see if we see anything. She's like, I didn't see any ads or anything that was particular. And her main complaint is we don't really have like a universal kids toy that comes out every Christmas anymore, like we used to. Like, we had Cabbage Patch Kids, and we had Tickle Me Elmo and
Furby.
Furbies. I mean, there's
Yeah.
nothing really that parents have to worry about getting and making sure that their kid has. Um, but and she was saying, she was like, that's one thing. She goes, but then she's like, we're walking through the store and she's like, there's nothing, there's no reason to even be here. She's like, there's no point in them even opening the stores
Yeah.
and saying, oh, we've got Black Friday deals, because there really aren't much in the way of Black Friday deals that are one anybody cares about.
Yeah.
However, I did hear that Costco, I think it is, does a Black Friday sale and they put discounts on groceries and stuff. And I'm
Oh,
like, okay, now that's a Black Friday sale I can get behind.
exactly. Yeah. Well, my
That's
grocery
what I
store does do
need.
Black Friday sales. Yeah.
Now that we are all, most of us are adults, we need food, we need groceries. So I will
Yeah.
happily go Black Friday shopping at the grocery store. Thank you.
We went to Walmart one year because they can't the blue Wii. So it was a special edition Wii, and we were gonna go find this blue Wii. And I just remember people, right, because they put like bins up in the middle of random aisles, and there were like socks that were cheap. I don't even know how much they were, probably like $2 or something. And I just remember people looking. I'm like, oh my god, we should get these socks. And it's like, I bet you socks are cheap at other points of the year. And like, if you need socks, great, go ahead and pick them up. But I'm not rushing out and fighting crowds to buy $2 socks. Like that's just
No, I mean, I was laughing because last year they didn't even have like any cute Christmas pajama sets for Black Friday. You know what I mean? They used to have like cute little outfits and all kinds of things. And it's like they don't have anything. They don't have shit. They don't even sell caboodles anymore. I mean, they used to have stacks of caboodles hanging out, just waiting.
mm-hmm.
Good luck finding a caboodle.
Do they even? You're talking about like the little plastic makeup tub, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
totally had a caboodle as a kid, but yeah, I was gonna say, do they even make those anymore?
Yeah, they still do. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I know you can hardly find them anymore though, and they cost way more than they should now.
Yeah.
Way more than they should. I think the last time I looked at one, I picked it up and looked at the price tag and went, "Are you kidding me? This was
Yeah.
like $2." No. No. But yeah, you can find them sometimes.
Yeah. So I'm not really looking to do any Black Friday shopping. If there are a few things that I want that I'm just watching prices on, because I don't need them. I want them. And if the price is right, I'll pick it up. And if not, so be it. I had to buy my mom a birthday gift, and I got something that was on clearance. So then they have a coupon that you could get 20% off the clearance price. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. So I ended up getting this lamp that she wants for like $70 cheaper than I could find it everywhere else. So
that's nice. That's
yeah.
good.
So I was like, okay, that was a
deal.
good
That's
find.
actually helpful.
Yeah.
This stuff's not helpful anymore. Like they don't have even like deals on games and gaming extras anymore. Like I remember going out a few years back and buying like, rechargeable batteries for controllers and, a headset and, extra games and all this. They don't do that stuff anymore. It's now, oh, we have it online on the online stores. You can pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's how Alien Isolation got me. I refuse.
Yeah.
I refuse to only buy digital copies anymore unless I absolutely have to.
Yeah.
Because I'm still stuck with a copy of what I feel to me. I understand other people love this game. That's fine. Everyone can have their own taste, even if it's gross. But I found this the most boring game for me, and I am stuck with it forever because it was a digital copy, and I've never played more than like 20, 30 minutes. And I can't bring myself to delete it off entirely because it's like, well, I just wasted money buying a game I'm never going to play. I'd like to give it to somebody who wants it. You can't give away digital games like that. So,
what game?
Alien Isolation.
Oh, Alien. Okay. I've never played it. I don't know.
I had higher expectations for that game, and it just was so. It's boring for me. I find it boring.
Yeah.
I talked to other people, and they love it. They think, oh, it's one of the best. It's an amazing alien game. It's so, paced and that's fine. That's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I personally couldn't get past hiding in closets for ridiculous amounts of time, but
Yeah.
that's me. And now I'm stuck with the game forever.
It is, and if you get something cheap and it's crappy, it's like, okay, I took a chance. But yeah, if you're paying good money for some of this stuff, you don't want to pay $50 for a game that you're stuck with that you're never gonna play.
Yeah,
$60, $70.
you're never going to delete it because you feel guilty just throwing the money away.
Yeah.
And like I said, I would love to give it to somebody. I've had people say, well, if you don't like it, give it to me. I'd love to.
I can't.
I would love to. I can't. I'm stuck with it forever. Thanks.
Milfman remembers getting a bundle of PS3 with 3 games for $200 back in the day.
Oh yeah, those were the days.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a really good bundle with a PS3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Like, so we got the Blue Wii that one year, which I remember getting it because we went back to electronics. We could not find it. We split up. We're going all through Walmart. Like, where is this? I happened to be over near the garden center, and here comes the Walmart dude with the pallet jack wheeling out the pallet of Blue Wiis. And I followed this guy to find out where he was setting it down so he could cut it open and give me one.
Oh, that's funny. That's too funny.
Yeah. But what I'm looking for now, actually, Frank and I are looking for it. We both follow Snackalator, which he just tells you all the new food things that are coming out.
Yeah.
Target has eggnog whipped cream. And I love eggnog. And apparently Frank does too, because he wants to try it. But neither of us can find it. We both keep looking for it, and we haven't found it yet. So not a Black Friday sale, but that's the item I'm hunting for.
I hope you guys find it. I don't drink eggnog, so I can't say I will be looking for that myself.
Eggnog season. I love it.
I'd rather just drink the rum straight, but
okay, you get all the rum, I'll get all the eggnog. We're happy. We each get what we need. Works out.
Good to me. Sounds good to me.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. And I'm hopefully this Thursday we're supposed to good weather. Friday only rain. I'm putting it out in the universe. No snow for us, just rain. Because Saturday is going to be busy because Saturday is Small Business Saturday. So we got a lot going on. So I do not need to spend my Friday shoveling and getting things prepped. I have other things I have to do. So
just start praying to the weather gods and explain to them that it's not Thanksgiving yet and it can't snow in Thanksgiving. Yeah. That's just rude. It's still considered fall. That is just rude. Sir.
Yes, rude.
You need to wait your turn like everybody else. Okay? I didn't need you to have a seat. Have several seats.
Yes. Listen up, weather gods. Perry keeps saying nobody wants to eat or drink eggs with milk. This is what he's been telling me all week long. He keeps going, why do you want eggnog? It's milk with eggs in it. And I'm like, that's not what it is. This is what he keeps telling me.
That's funny. Listen, I don't get it, but it's right along the same lines for me as pumpkin pie. I don't eat pumpkin pie anything. I don't eat pumpkin anything.
Yeah, pumpkin's gross.
Pumpkin anything. So, I mean, why do people eat pumpkin? It's bitter as hell, and you need 12 other things to make it taste good. Or so they say it tastes good. I, again, don't care for pumpkin. So
just give me the sugar and the cinnamon. Leave the pumpkin out of it.
Cream. I don't need the I don't need the pie. Give me the whipped cream. I'm good with just whipped cream. I will eat the whipped cream by itself.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. See, I don't like all the things that normal people like. I don't. I like the controversial things. Candy corn, circus peanuts, eggnog. I'm there for it all. I'm ready.
There's nothing wrong with those things, though. I mean, candy corn's not the worst. I think it gets a bad rap because it's basic as all hell. And it does get really repetitive and kind of gross after you eat too much of it. And let's be honest, candy corn flavored things is nasty. I have never tasted anything that was supposed to be candy corn flavor that isn't candy corn.
Somehow they always make it like a white chocolate flavor, which candy corn has no chocolate flavor at all. I don't know why white chocolate is not chocolate. I'll fight you for it. I'll fight you on that because white chocolate's gross. But I don't know what it is. You're right. No one makes a candy corn that flavor that tastes like candy corn.
Yeah, I mean, and when they try and change candy corn's flavor to give it like cotton candy, candy corn, it tastes like ass. It always does. So I think that's why people always give it a bad time because it's not that versatile. Circus peanuts, I don't know why everybody hates on circus peanuts. It's essentially marshmallow with like, I don't know what flavor that is. Peanut?
So
I don't know. It's weird.
They're supposedly banana flavored. If you look it up, they're banana flavored. It's the weirdest banana I've tasted in my life.
I never would have guessed that.
But I don't know.
I got whipped cream.
See, I love marshmallows though. Marshmallow might be my favorite food ever. I don't know. So pretty much anything that's marshmallow adjacent, I also love. Which is probably why I love circus peanuts.
Oh gosh, whipped cream is so good.
It is.
I believe he actually gave me a little. I have a whole little bowl. Give me the whole bowl.
Aw.
Sit it down next to me. I'll take it.
I wouldn't turn it down either. Perry doesn't like whipped cream, so normally he gets no whipped cream. If they screw up and give it to him, it's perfect because then I get it. They're like, yeah. See, and if you ever see, I'm not a huge like breakfast food person, but like if you go and you get like pancakes or waffles, ask for your whipped cream on the side because when they put it on the top because it's hot and then it melts.
Yeah.
Put it on the side and then you can dip your waffles into your whipped cream. You're welcome for that little tip. Trust me, when you try it, you will thank me. You will be like, she's a genius. Why did I not do this earlier?
Perry, what tastes like pineapple? I can't taste pineapple. It's gross. 1, I don't like pineapple. 2, it'll actually kill me. So I don't eat pineapple.
Perry's like
I don't eat pineapple flavored things either.
Dude, Perry's like a super taster. Okay. One year at holiday, my mom bought a sparkling cherry juice.
Mm-hmm.
So we all try it. And it was like, I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it was like, whatever. He drinks it and he goes, this tastes like pineapple. And we're all like, what are you talking about? It's cherry flavor. Why are you saying pineapple? Sure enough, we read the ingredients on the back of the bottle. What is the last ingredient on the bottle?
Pineapple.
Yep.
Yeah, they were putting it in everything for a while, especially when they would say like all natural, with no preservatives because pineapple is a natural preservative. So there's a whole list of things I can't eat or drink anymore because it's all natural now. And it's like, thanks guys. I appreciate the fake shit more. Go back to the fake stuff.
Give me the chemicals.
I'd rather have the chemicals. I care and enjoy breathing.
Yeah.
The world likes me breathing for the most part. I mean,
now I'm telling you, he's just a super taster. So I think that there's things he doesn't like because he's not tasting what the rest of us taste. He's tasting like something random in it that's gross that the rest of us our brains don't even process the flavor.
Actually, I can sympathize with that. I can completely understand. I smell things that everyone else doesn't smell. And not because it's not there, but because I notice it. Most people don't notice things.
Yeah.
And then, because of that, I do taste things that most people don't taste. It's a nightmare at times. It really is. I completely understand. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when there was a place that I used to go to, and whenever I'd get a soda, I had to stop drinking fountain soda there because anytime I'd get a Coke, I could taste cinnamon. And I'd tell them all the time, I'm like, have you cleaned this damn nozzle?
Yeah.
Yeah, we cleaned it. Why? Taste cinnamon. What do you mean? I taste cinnamon. And as soon as I tell them when I'm tasting, they're like, oh, wait a minute. Now that you say that, I'm like, see, I'm not crazy. You guys have something wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nightmare at times. Ugh.
Dreadpool wants Varsity Blues whipped cream, so I've definitely blocked that movie from my head because I hate I don't want your life. I can't stand James Van Der Beek, and when he says that, but I'm assuming, is it whipped cream like on boobs or something? I'm just gonna assume that that's because he put a little
Yeah,
winky face, so I have to assume.
yeah, she does. She does a bikini, whipped
Okay.
cream bikini. Say whipped cream bikini. Fun times, good times.
So are you offering Dreadpool that you're wearing the whipped cream bikini? Is that what you want?
No, he is not getting any whipped cream bikini. He can have
Uh,
my foot in his ass later. That's a possible arrangement. He's shaking his head. No. No. So basic and boring. Oh,
uh.
you want toasted?
Yeah, instead of toasted, the guy would say toasted, but he'd ask you like a million times. You want toasted?
That's funny. That is funny.
Okay, so that same Subway, there used to be this guy who worked there, and I wasn't with him the day that they went, but like a group of them went, and he was asking. I forget he said I forget what he said he was going to set up in town, but he was talking about having a business and you only let the MILFs in the business, like MILFs only could come in and shop. But like the dude who's making the sandwiches is telling them this. Like this is his plan for MILFs only. Why he was saying that, I don't know. But then they told me this, and I was like, I would hate to be the person who who has to make the determination. Like, I'm sorry, ma'am, you have to leave.
Um,
Oh, I just assumed you meant the guy who works there now.
I mean,
Right.
that's an interesting business standard. I don't know how you're really going to weed out your customers.
Well, like I said, you're the person who has to be like, I'm sorry, ma'am. You, in fact, are not a MILF. Please leave now. Right? Who makes the determination?
I mean, what's the criteria? What and also who's judging these women? Because if he's judging these women, he had better have a body stacked to the gods. I mean,
He was just some skinny little emo kid.
that
I
yeah, no,
think.
I'm
I
not
think
about to
he
be judged by
wasn't.
some little dork.
Yeah, he like. Yeah, Perry, Frank, Anthony, Nick. They all went in there. And this is what the dude making the sandwiches was telling him. Which, like, what a weird conversation to have with customers. That this is what.
Should have asked him if he's ever talked to a real life breathing woman before. Have you ever, in fact,
Yeah.
spoken to someone?
It's like I wish I would have been there, but then he may not have had the conversation if I was there. So
Probably not. No, probably not. No. I find that usually men, when they talk like that, when women aren't around, they usually don't have anything to say when a woman is around. In fact, a lot of times they're scared to talk to women. Yeah. So like I said, I should ask him, have you in fact ever talked to a real live woman before? Like in person? That's not your mom.
Well, he didn't work there very long, so I'm assuming if he was asking those kind of questions. Yeah, Perry said he asked Perry if he got any MILFs in the shop. Like I don't know. If this is the dude who's making your Subway sandwiches, if this is what he's telling you, imagine what he's telling other people. Like I'm assuming that's why he didn't last very long. Like couldn't have been the only inappropriate conversation.
Oh gosh. Yeah, no. Yeah, no. I mean, I can only imagine the response that any woman would gradually have with this little twink trying to tell you, like, you're not hot enough to shop in my store. It's like, yeah, okay, and you're gonna do what exactly? Sir, I will snap you in half and toss you into a river. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
There's some tall women out there. Yeah, I know quite a few. In fact, that yeah, I know. He looks like Iron Street's son.
Iron Sheik's a wrestler.
I-
But he was some skinny little kid. It's not like this dude Club Milfsters. I don't know why. I don't know why Fabio is like why in the 80s everyone think Fabio was hot. I don't know, but he's still the name I use when you talk about like hot people.
Mhm.
But like it's like this dude wasn't Fabio. Like I don't know. Like I said, he was nothing. He was just average, little skinny nerd. You know.
Oh, that would actually be the highlight of my day personally. Just to hear someone that looked like that try and pass judgment on me. I don't care if he thinks I'm hot. Oh, that would just bring a delightful moment to my day. Just to rid him to filth and just excuse me. Yeah. Chances are he's never had a real life girlfriend.
Probably not.
Canadian girlfriend. He had a girlfriend once in Canada.
Yeah. Only talk to the internet.
FaceTime though.
Didn't video chat.
Her camera was broken, so they couldn't video
Yes.
chat. He doesn't have any pictures of her because she's shy. And she's not really allowed to date. She doesn't want her family to find out. So
Dude, early seasons of Catfish were wild. Because right like now in 2024 when stuff like that happens, like you'd be like, what's wrong with you? It's ridiculous. But back in the beginning of talking to people on the internet, it was believable to not have a camera
yeah.
and to not be able to FaceTime and do all this stuff. It was believable. So those early seasons of Catfish were just amazing.
But while it was believable, they still pushed it. And I still remember when those shows came on, I was like, you can't be that dumb. Like, yeah, we didn't do video chats and we didn't really exchange phone numbers and stuff, but you also didn't get into a relationship and actually mean you were dating the person you found in a random chat room. After all you did was what was it? ASL.
Yeah.
ASL? Cool. Oh, now we're dating. I mean, like, even back then, it was weird behavior to date somebody you've never met and only talk to online. Okay.
This wasn't an old episode, but this is maybe like a couple years old. This dude, I don't know where he lived, the middle of like Nebraska or something, like the middle of the country, someplace flat. And he was the cashier at Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody sent him a message on the internet and they're like, oh, don't you remember me? I went through the line at Taco Bell and we chit-chatted. Dude, if you looked at this lady's photos, this lady was not going to Taco Bell in Nebraska. No way, no how. Like, this lady was like porn star level photos. And she's like, yeah, don't you remember me? We chatted when I came through the drive-thru. So they start dating. So, of course, he's sending her money and stuff. So he sent her a photocopy of his license. And they were like, well, why did you do that? And he's like, well, she sent me her license. So I sent mine back. So they go, well, let's see what her license was. The photo on the license, like, didn't even fit in the box where the photo was. It was that bad of a Photoshop. Like, they didn't even line it up properly. And they were just roasting this guy. And it's like, really, this is what you this wasn't suspicious to you? But you could only feel so sorry for certain people because, like, this dude, there were 1,000 red flags and you miss one or two, okay, but you missed 1,000, I can't really feel sorry for you.
No, I think the last time I watched a Catfish episode, because I was surprised it was still on, or at least in syndication, at least. I was scrolling through the channels and happened to come across it, and I was like, seriously, this is still on? And the guy that was on there had never met the girl. They'd been together for like 5 years. They were supposedly engaged and all this stuff. And the more he's talking, the more I got second, third, fourth, fifth, like 1,000 times embarrassment and shame for this guy, because it was like everything he'd say, it's like, oh, sweetie.
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart. Oh, yeah.
So I love Catfish, and I don't know how many seasons in I am. Like I started season 1, episode 1. I've watched oodles of them. My 2 favorites. So the runner up of my favorite is some lady who she needed to find out she was dating Bow Wow, like the rapper Bow Wow.
Oh, I think I saw that one. Well, I didn't
Yes.
see the episode with her on Catfish. She ends up going on Dr. Phil later on.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, she went on Dr. Phil later on because she, even after the Catfish episode, she still thought that they lied and paid someone to say,
Well,
like,
oh yeah, well, it was weird because she was like, I feel like this is being catfish because why would Bow Wow want anything to do with me? But the person sent her like $15,000, right? The person sent her a substantial amount of money. So that she was like, maybe it really is because who else is sending me that much money? It's like the guy sent her $100. And no, she was totally just being catfished. My all-time favorite episode ever, though, is it was cousins, and the guy was getting catfished, and they're going to find the person, and they get an address. So they're standing in the middle of the street, and the address was an abandoned house. So then the cousin goes, whatever the cousin said, but the cousin's like, "You're so stupid. It was me." The cousin catfished his own cousin for like 3 years.
mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Why did you do this to me?" And his cousin goes, she's like, "We were at a party 3 years ago, and you called me a fat ass Kelly Price." So,
really?
Yes.
Oh my
So
God. That's not even
she
the worst
spent-
insult you could get either.
Yeah, so she spent years catfishing him. Years.
She must really, I mean, I feel bad for the guy, obviously, but like, damn, she really must have no life. Like, what does that say about her in general for her to take that much time out of her life?
But it was great because her cousin, he was gay, so the guy he was talking to was Tony.
Mm-hmm.
So they were like, well, who, like, when he talks to Tony, who was he talking to? And she goes, "Oh, I just put on my Tony voice." And she doesn't. She just like made her voice kind of sound like a dude, but it was hysterical. She's like, "Yeah, I just used my Tony voice." That's my hands down my favorite episode ever. It's like your own cousin did that to you. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay, Dreadpool's referring to that TV show Cheaters that was on. Okay, that was like my guilty pleasure to watch. I loved to watch it because it was so stupid, and the cases were always so far out of left field.
Yeah,
it was like watching a Jerry Springer episode after they went back home. You know what I mean? Or before they went on the show. It's like a Jerry Springer episode either before or after they go on the show.
Yeah,
I love it. It's a great guilty pleasure. So I'm sitting there watching it one day. This was a few years ago. And I about freak out. And I'm like, you got to be shitting me. This guy goes on and he's talking about his wife cheating on him. He knows she's cheating. He just hasn't been able to catch her. So he needs a little help, blah, 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 blah. This, that, and the other thing. And they're like, okay. So they get it all together and everything. Well, after everything goes up, they go to bust her in a hot tub with this guy. Right? Their fucking cousin, dude. Like her first cousin.
Wait, her and her cousin are in the hot tub together? Like that's
her cousin. That's who she was cheating on her husband with, was her first cousin.
Oh God.
But that's not what made me call my husband, because like obviously we watched Jerry Springer. That's not that new.
Yeah.
They had those people on all the time, on Jerry and Murray, and you know what I mean? That's not that crazy. Ricky Lake back in the day, it is what it is. No, what threw me off is I knew the woman. I went to school with her. And I was like, she did not seem that kind. I mean, don't get me wrong. She was a bit weird. But she didn't seem that kind of weird.
Not cheating on your husband with your cousin weird.
Not yet. Not keeping it in the family weird. It was like, do I call her to check on her and see if she's okay? Like, are you okay? Like, there's so many more people out in the world. Really? Or
Yeah.
I got questions. But that's not the only person that I recognize that I knew on Cheaters that I went to school with. There was a guy that I knew that I went to
That's
school
amazing.
with on Cheaters, and he was the one being cheated on. She also, in fact, was keeping it in the family, but it was I think they were like third cousins or something
Okay.
like that. So it was still gnarly as hell, and
Yeah.
he played it up for the drama of it all. He was like, "Oh my god!" I mean, look, I can imagine the response you would have, but the way he went about it was so funny and dramatic. But he said it was true because I tracked him down afterwards because I was like, "There's no way in hell this show is real. Like these cases have to be fake as shit. I mean, there's no way.
Yeah.
No, they're real." They're very real. I was like, "Oh, in that case, I'm so sorry." He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "It's one thing to be cheated on." He's like, "Do you have any idea what kind of a mind fuck it is to be worried about your next girlfriend cheating on you with her cousin or her brother or
Yeah.
like,
Oh. I would love it though. If I saw someone I knew on a show like that, oh, I would love it. I'd be
it
so
was
excited.
entertaining. I mean, I was excited. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I know them." It was so weird, but it was so funny at the same time. Like I said, hey, no shame to me. I
Yeah.
did nothing wrong. I find things entertaining.
So
But
you mentioned Ricky Lake. Perry said Ricky Lake was my girlfriend back in 1994. Pickles told her to stay away from me. Big drama. Yes, he loves Ricky Lake. So we watched Ricky Lake earlier tonight. They uploaded a new episode, so we watched new episode meaning like obviously old episodes of the show, but they're
Yeah.
like gradually uploading them.
Yeah.
The episode we watched earlier. It was people who were 30 or not even 30, and they've already been married and divorced multiple times. There was some lady who's 29 years old and she's engaged. She's not quite divorced from husband number 5, but she's already on engagement number 6. So she's just waiting for the divorce to go through to marry number 6, and she's 29 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Doesn't surprise me though. I had a friend one time because I think if you get married too early, you run into that sort of problem. You just tend to get married quickly.
Well, she said that like her shortest marriage was 2 weeks, her longest marriage was only 8 or 9 months, and that some of these people she only knew them for a couple months before getting married.
The sanctity of marriage.
Stop getting married. Just date.
Way to respect it.
Yeah, just stop getting married. It costs money to do all this.
See, in normal vows, it says to having to hold, till death do us part. Her vow said something along the lines of to pay my bills for this month until I get tired of your raggedy ass next month.
But don't worry, number 6, he was different. And that was going to last. That's what she told everybody.
They always are.
And her best friend was on there, and her best friend was like, "This guy's not it. This guy is not the guy for her."
That figures. I had a friend years ago. She was married 3 times before we were 25.
This is a lot.
Yeah, no, that was pretty much the conversation we had at one point after her 3rd marriage. It was like, "Listen, I'm going to need you to not get married anymore. Like, 1, we're not buying you wedding gifts anymore. This is a pointless activity. Okay. Yeah. 2, we can't afford to keep going to your weddings anyway. And like, what's the etiquette here? Are we allowed to wear the same outfits we wore to the previous 3? Like, do we have to buy a new outfit for each wedding? Like, what's the deal?"
Yeah, but it costs money to get married. Even if you just go to Justice of the Peace, you're going to pay for the license and all that. It costs money to get married. It costs money to get divorced. I'm sure it complicates taxes and complicates other things, right? If you get a joint bank account or something, like it costs money and time to get married and to undo getting married. Like just stop, just date. But it was a
That's
good
why.
episode. I'm glad people do it though, because otherwise we would not have been able to watch this Ricky Lake with all these people. So
True. I mean, in some states, they make you take a test or you have to read a book. You have to take a course that's like an hour long or read a book. And then even after you get your license, like here in Florida, you have to wait before you can actually get married. Your license isn't good the same day you get it. You can't
I would
use
make
it
sure you're
the
not like
same
drunk
day.
at the casino getting a marriage license.
Oh yeah, no, you can absolutely. That's an absolute null and void. If you're drunk
Yeah.
at your wedding here, that's null and void. They a lot of times there's priests and stuff that will not marry you at all. They'll tell you no, come back later. I've seen that before. The bride was not happy. Groom showed up plastered, literally falling down the aisleway. I mean, we were all in our early 20s. It was funny to me because I wasn't the bride.
Yeah.
He was so drunk though. He was swaying, standing up, and the priest was like, "I can't legally marry you. You're under the
Wait though.
influence."
Was she mad that the priest wouldn't marry them? Or
No,
was
she
she
was mad
mad
that
that
he
he
was so
showed up
drunk.
plastered?
She
Okay.
was mad he was so drunk at the
Mad at the right person then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mental, him and his wife were married young, but they dated for 2 years. So I'm assuming then you did not show up to your wedding plastered, falling down. Yeah.
I feel like you should know somebody for a little while before you get married. That's the best way. Too many people get early too quick. I feel like it should be at least 2 years before you get married. A year to get to know them, a year for shit to go wrong, and everyone to catch an attitude and have to compromise. That's the biggest problem is a lot of people can't compromise. So
It is, because Perry didn't tell me on date number 1. He didn't tell me that he was a weird super taster and that couldn't eat certain things because they taste like pineapple. He didn't tell me all this. I had to pry it out of him years later.
understandable. Dreadpool didn't tell me his family was strange. I had to figure that out after we were married.
We didn't figure it out though by him being strange, that he came a strange guy, came from a strange family.
No, not really. I just kind of assumed. I mean, I'm in Florida. Everybody's weird. I mean,
Florida man.
yeah, Normal would be very boring here. It'd probably not survive for very long. So, but I probably should have figured he was weird. Yeah, you're right. That's my fault.
You missed the signs.
Yeah, I had 2 years to figure it out, though. That's where I went wrong. I was just blinded. No, just kidding.
The beard was clouding your vision for 2 years.
The beard's what did it for me.
Yeah.
And that and his long, beautiful hair. I figured if I went bald someday or ever like lost my hair for any reason, or God forbid I get a terrible haircut, I got someone I can get a wig off of like that. Just cut off his hair.
Thinking ahead.
Also, like I was putting out to our friends the other night, I can choke him with his own beard. No murder weapon necessary. Can't get in trouble for carrying the weapon. It's on him. Can't blame me for what he provided.
I wonder how hard that would be to find from the crime scene investigator. Right? Would you be able to tell that it was hair and not like a rope?
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it wouldn't be as tightly wound, so the hairs would probably cut more than a rope
Strangled
would.
by his own beard.
Yeah.
That's some like mafia level stuff. Like you're sending a sign at that point. I'm sending you a message by strengthening you with your beard.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny. It's entertaining too, though. Yes, I did. I then threw his hair into a plate of food. I didn't mean to throw your hair into the food. It's not my fault.
Did you throw the food in? Wait, did you throw a plate of food at his beard or
No,
like his beard on his head?
No, we were eating we were eating dinner we went out with some friends the other night and went out for dinner and a show afterwards. And while we were at dinner, they were talking about his beard and his hair. And I made mention that, I told him, this is my, don't piss me off. I'll choke you with your own hair. Kind of like, don't pull out your gun unless you plan on using it. I'll take you from you and beat you to death with it.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I showed them. They were like, no. And I'm like, yeah, it goes all the way around. Look, I can do either the beard or the hair. I got options. So I was showing him, and I went to go pull his hair around his neck. And when I let go of his hair to unchoke him, his hair kind of just brushed by his plate a little bit and got a little sauce on it. And ever since then, he's like, you my hair in the food. Oh my God, it was an accident, and I already apologized, and I wiped your hair off. Let it know.
Keep complaining, and that might not be a demonstration. That might, right? That might not just be a demonstration.
Exactly. See, I knew there was a reason I enjoyed her so much. She
Yeah.
reads my mind, ladies and gentlemen. Oh gosh. But oh my gosh, I just now realized what time it is.
Yeah, it's 11:30.
You will need to go to bed. You guys got work in the morning. I do too. But
we got to go to bed. You got to plan how to not have the beard leave a trace.
I'll be working on that this week and watching any movies related to Thanksgiving. Almost any movie related to Thanksgiving. There's a series of movies I won't be watching, and that's the turkey movies, but
Perry said we have Black Friday, so I want to watch that.
Ooh, you like it? Let me know you like it. Let me know if you like it.
Okay, I'll report back next week. Yeah, we'll have to watch it.
So. Oh, it's great. Well, until then, thank you guys. Thank you, everybody, for support. I appreciate it. You guys are amazing as always.
Yeah, we had a great chat tonight. Thank you, everyone.
Yes. And we will be back next week. So in the meantime, enjoy your week. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving or Indigenous Peoples Days, what I think some people call it now. Or is it a different holiday? I don't know. Whatever it is you're celebrating on Thursday, if you're eating food, enjoy your food. I will be
happy Thursday.
Yes. Happy Eat Turkey and Stuffing Day.
Yep.
But until then, I'm Death Dealer.
And I'm Pink Pickles.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.